Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over your weekly forecast for the 16th to the 22nd of August. Now, you might remember this is a series that I did do a few months ago on my channel, and I actually brought this back last week, and I hope to keep this as a running series on my channel where I'll be giving you temperature anomaly forecast, precipitation anomaly forecast, and some special event forecasts that are going to be going on in the United States for this week. And I hope, again, to keep this as a running series. I really do enjoy making these forecasts, and they are quite cool to make. So we're going to cover special events in this forecast as well. So for example, in the wintertime, if there's a big snowstorm, I might give you some snowfall accumulation maps, as well as some ice accumulation maps, and maybe even some rainfall accumulation maps. If we have some big rain event, I'll give you wind gust forecast. If we have a hurricane or some sort of big storm, especially relating to the tropics, I'll go through heat wave forecasts, Arctic blast forecasts. So a lot of different forecasts that I'm going to be going over. This week we're going to actually be going over a heat wave that's over the western United States, and we'll talk about that later on at the end of the video. So let's get right into it here. Here's your precipitation anomaly forecast, and I'm expecting slightly below average precipitation all the way from just east of the Rockies to just west of the Appalachians there. So pretty much for the central part of the country, and then kind of veering into parts of the northeastern part of the country. That's where I'm expecting slightly below average precipitation. So less rainfall than what is typical for this time of year throughout this region, but that'll only be on paper. Now, for it to really be significant, that's usually when I put you guys in a moderately below average region. That's when it's noticeably dry. But in this lightest brown region, kind of a light tan color there, that's where I'm expecting it to be on paper below average, but not necessarily noticeable if you aren't really paying attention. So here is where I'm expecting it to be a little bit more noticeable for parts of Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. This is where I'm expecting it to be moderately below average, so it's going to be a little bit more noticeable in these regions. But again, it's not going to be crazy. You're going to still see a couple times this week. You might still see some rainfall, but it's just going to be noticeably drier than normal, and that'll actually be quite pleasant if you couple that with the cooler than normal temperatures that are expected for these regions this week. Now, here is where I'm expecting slightly above average precipitation this week, and that's from New Jersey to Florida there along the East Coast. That's where I'm expecting slightly above average precipitation there. And again, this is where it's going to be slightly wetter than normal, but again, it's not going to be too noticeable until you get into this moderately above average region, which is from parts of southern Delaware to about northeasternmost South Carolina. This is where it's going to be even more rainier than normal. And you should expect a little bit more precipitation than what is typical, and you're going to see probably a couple inches of rainfall this week, 4 or 5 inches from multiple events that are going to go through this region. Now, here is your temperature anomaly map, and we're going to start off here with your above average region, which stretches from parts of Texas and the southwest to parts of the northwest, the north central, and then into the Great Lakes and even parts of the interior northeast there, where you should expect slightly above average temperatures for this week. Now, here in this orange region, this is where I'm expecting moderately above average temperatures for this week, which is basically for everywhere in the western United States. So the western third of the country should expect moderately above average temperatures, and this is where, again, it's going to be more noticeable than in that yellow shade, and it's going to be even more above average than what is typical. So probably by about 2 to 4 degrees above what is normal on average for this entire week. So that is quite a bit, actually, when you do factor that in, that it's averaged along a 7-day period. Now, here in this red region, this is where I'm expecting well above average temperatures, and some areas, especially in California, could see on average 8 to 10 degrees above normal for the entire week on average, and that's over a 7-day time frame. But some individual days could be 25 to 30 degrees above average over those regions. So really, really severe over these regions over parts of the southwest, and also for a little portion there in parts of northern and central Montana, where you should expect well above average temperatures. Generally, over the entire western United States, expect some dry or some warmer than normal conditions. Now, here over parts of the pretty much the Tennessee Valley, the southern Ohio Valley, through the Ozarks, and then into parts of the Mid Atlantic. This is where I'm expecting slightly below average temperatures, and this is again from basically Kansas and Oklahoma eastward into parts of the Mid Atlantic. Expect slightly below average temperatures, and this is where again it's going to be cooler than normal, just on average, but it's going to be pretty much a sustained below average period, but it's not going to be too significant. So it's only going to be 1 to 3 degrees below your normal on average. So it'll be actually quite pleasant. Couple that with the drier than normal conditions throughout the central United States, and you should actually see quite a pleasant week or so. So that is actually some very good news for those who live pretty much anywhere in this blue region. It's going to be a very nice week. Now let's start looking at your special events. And we only have one this week, and it's just going to be this heat wave over the western United States, and I'm going to time it out for you guys. Now, here from the 16th, which would be today, to the 17th, which is tomorrow, this is where I'm expecting over pretty much the entire west coast and then into parts of the desert southwest. I'm expecting this heat wave to be prevalent throughout these regions, again, from today all the way until the 17th, which is Monday. Now, here for the 17th to the 19th, this is where it starts progressing eastward, and this is now impacting parts of Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, and also New Mexico there. This is where you're really starting to feel the heat wave if you do live anywhere in these regions by the 17th to the 19th. Now, we have another region here. This is where it's going to be a little bit later on and not even really too associated with this system, with this heat wave. It's going to be kind of a big blob of warm air that kind of gets funneled down from Canada, and that's going to impact parts of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Montana, or Minnesota, and into parts of Iowa there by the 19th to the 20th. So that is kind of timing out this heat wave. Other than that, there's not too much going on this week. I could have mentioned the colder than normal conditions for the eastern United States, but they weren't too significant for me to put a whole segment on them. So that is going to wrap it up for this week's weekly forecast, and I'll be coming out with this every single Sunday. I might not do it some Sundays just because there might be a very big event that is kind of more newsworthy to make for example, if we have a hurricane impacting parts of the United States, I'll probably make a forecast on that rather than making a weekly forecast, and then I might push my weekly forecast back to maybe Monday or Tuesday if I have to. But I really want to stay with the Sunday weekly forecast, and hopefully I can do that. And I hope you guys do enjoy the series. If you do, definitely leave me a like down below, and also leave a comment down below if you have any questions for your individual areas forecast for this week, and I'll definitely give you a handwritten message and forecast for your area. Now again, that is going to wrap it up for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.